That night, Arca, a ride-hailing driver, was crossing Ancol Bridge after dropping off his last passenger. It was 1:27 a.m., and the streets were silent. Only the sound of crashing waves echoed from the distance. In the middle of the bridge, he saw a woman standing by the roadside, wearing a red kabaya, her long black hair covering half her face. "Sir, could you take me home?" she asked softly, her voice trembling yet sweet. Without thinking twice, Arca nodded. As soon as she climbed onto the back of his bike, the air grew icy cold. A faint scent of jasmine flowers filled the air. In his rearview mirror, Arca caught a glimpse of her face, pale, expressionless, her eyes staring blankly ahead. He tried to talk, but she didn't respond. Minutes later, when he turned around, the seat behind him was empty. The next day, Arca couldn't shake off what happened. He returned to the bridge with his friend, Rian, determined to prove he wasn't imagining things. Rian pulled out his phone and started recording as they walked across the bridge. "They say a young woman was murdered here years ago," Rian said. "Her body was thrown into the sea, and her spirit never found peace." Suddenly, Rian's phone started recording on its own. On the screen, a figure in red appeared behind them. They turned around, but no one was there. Then, a soft whisper brushed against Arca's ear. "Thank you for taking me home." Days later, a headline spread across social media. "Man found dead beneath Ancol Bridge. Jasmine scent detected at the scene." Since then, late-night drivers claimed to see a beautiful woman waving at the side of the road. But those who dared to look closer said, her face turned rotten, half decayed, half smiling. They call her the Lady in Red, the ghost of Ancol Bridge, and they say she's still looking for the man who killed her that night. A week after the incident, Arca began having nightmares. In every dream, he stood on Ancol Bridge, surrounded by fog, and at the center, she stood, the Lady in Red, watching him. One night, he heard a whisper calling his name. When he opened his eyes, his room smelled of jasmine. On his phone screen, there was a new message, sent from an unknown number. "You forgot to take me home," Arca, panicking. He traced the message's location. It pointed directly to Ancol Bridge. Despite his fear, he drove there, determined to end the haunting. When he arrived, the bridge was empty, but the water below shimmered unnaturally, as if something was moving beneath the surface. Suddenly, a woman's laughter echoed. He turned, and there she was, sorry, her red kabaya soaked, her eyes filled with tears and rage. "They called me Simanis because I was kind and beautiful," she said softly. "But beauty means nothing when men see you as prey." She stepped closer, her face decaying with each word. "He promised to love me, then killed me here." Arca's heart pounded. "I'm not him," he gasped. Sari tilted her head. "I know, but you look just like him." Before he could move, cold hands wrapped around his neck. The sound of crashing waves swallowed his screams. The next morning, the police found Arca's motorbike parked neatly by the bridge. The seat was wet, and a faint scent of jasmine lingered in the air. On his phone, investigators found one final photo, a selfie, taken moments before his death, with a woman in red standing right behind him. Before she became a ghost, her name was Sari, a beautiful young woman who worked at a small painting gallery near Ancol Beach in the late 1970s. She was known for her sweet smile, which earned her the nickname Simanis. Every night after work, she crossed the old wooden bridge to go home. That's where she met Damar, a charming painter who often stayed late at the gallery. He promised to make her famous, to paint her face and hang it in exhibitions across the city. Sari believed him. She trusted him. Until one night, she discovered the truth. Damar had been using her. He sold her paintings, her face, her name, and when she confronted him, he laughed. In anger, she tore one of his paintings apart. That was the last thing she remembered before the darkness took her. Witnesses said they heard a woman scream from the bridge that night. Her body was never found, but the next morning, the fishermen saw a red kabaya floating on the water, and a trail of blood dripping from the bridge's edge. Since then, locals began to whisper. Every full moon, a woman in red walks along Ancol Bridge. She looks for the man who betrayed her, or anyone who dares to remind her of him. And if you see her smiling at you, run, because behind that smile, her eyes are filled with hate, and she might just think you're Damar. It's been 40 years since that night. No one had seen Damar in decades, the painter who vanished after Sari's death. Some said he went insane. Others whispered he was cursed, forever haunted by the woman he killed. But one stormy night, an old man came to the abandoned Ancol art gallery, carrying a lantern and a dusty canvas wrapped in cloth. His hands trembled. His face was thin, pale, and haunted. It was Damar. He placed the canvas on the floor and whispered, "I never meant to kill you, sorry. I just wanted you to stay quiet." When he uncovered the painting, it was a portrait of Sari, beautiful, but her eyes seemed alive. They shimmered under the lantern light, almost wet, like tears. The air grew heavy. Then, a familiar scent of jasmine filled the room. "You painted me," a soft voice said. "Now I'll paint your ending." The lights flickered. From the shadows, Sari appeared, her red kabaya drenched, her face half decayed but still heartbreakingly beautiful. Damar stumbled backward, gasping, "No, you're not real. You're dead." Sari smiled, the same sweet smile she once had. Then she raised her hand, covered in dripping paint. The color was red, but not from a brush. "You made me bleed on your canvas. Now it's your turn." She pressed her hand to his chest. Damar screamed as blood poured from his body, forming a shape on the canvas, his own terrified face. The next morning, security guards found the gallery door open. Inside, there was only one painting left hanging on the wall, a new portrait, a man screaming, surrounded by red streaks, and a woman's smile reflected in his eyes. Below the painting, written in dark ink, were four words, "He belongs to me." 40 years after Damar's death, Ancol Bridge became just another part of the city's late-night route, crowded by passing cars, neon lights, and the sound of waves crashing below. But even with the noise of modern life, some nights still felt wrong. Too quiet, too cold. That night, Lena, a young content creator, came to the bridge with her camera crew. They were filming an episode for her channel, Urban Shadows, exploring haunted places around Jakarta. "They say if you cross this bridge after midnight," Lena said to the camera, "you'll see a woman in red asking for a ride home." Her friend Rico laughed. Ghosts don't show up for cameras. But when he checked his footage, his face turned pale. Behind Lena's in the frame stood a woman in red, smiling faintly. The group froze. Lena turned around, nothing, only wind and the soft whisper of waves. Suddenly, the bridge lights flickered off. Their camera screens went black. In the silence, a sweet jasmine scent filled the air. Then, a soft voice whispered, "You shouldn't record what's already dead." Rico screamed as something cold grabbed his wrist. He dropped the camera. It hit the ground, still recording. For a brief second, the lens captured it. A woman's decayed face, smiling inches from Lena's ear. The next morning, the police found the camera, still running. Lena and her friends were never found. When the footage leaked online, the final seconds showed the bridge at dawn, and a figure in red walking slowly away, her reflection rippling in the water below. Underneath the bridge, graffiti appeared overnight. In smeared red paint, it read, "Sari is awake." 2 weeks after Lena and her crew disappeared, their video mysteriously went viral. No one knew who uploaded it. The original files had been missing, yet the footage appeared online at 3:03 a.m., titled, "The Lady in Red, Real Footage." Within hours, millions watched it. Most thought it was fake, until the comments section began to fill with strange messages. "Why did she smile at me through the screen? There was a shadow behind me while watching this. I smelled jasmine in my room." Then, a live streamer named Nika tried to react to the video live. Halfway through his stream, his viewers noticed something, a reflection of a woman in red standing behind him, smiling in the mirror. Nika turned around. The room was empty, but when he faced the camera again, she was closer. Her face filled the frame. The stream cut to black. The next morning, Nico's followers saw a new post on his channel. "She's awake now. She's not trapped in Ancol anymore." Police later found his apartment empty, except for a single red kabaya hanging on the chair. The scent of jasmine was so strong, officers had to leave the room. Rumors spread fast. People said Sari's spirit had escaped the bridge through Lena's camera, that she now haunts anyone who watches the video past 3:03 a.m. Some even claim to hear her voice whispering from their phones, "You saw me. Now let me see you." It started in Jakarta. Then the comments began appearing in other languages, English, Korean, Spanish, Arabic, all under the same video. People across the world were watching The Lady in Red, Real Footage. Each night at 3:03 a.m., new clips surfaced. Different people, different countries, same whisper, same scent of jasmine. One girl from Manila recorded her reaction. Halfway through, her live chat started spamming, "She's behind you. Don't turn around. She's smiling." The girl froze. Her camera shook, and for a second, the audience saw a figure in red standing in the reflection of her monitor. The screen glitched, and the stream ended. The next day, her account posted one final message. "She's not a story anymore. She's inside the signal." Experts tried to track the video's source, but every time they deleted it, another version appeared. Different angle, different person filming, always ending the same way. The viewer sees her, then disappears. Some say the video is alive, evolving, like Sari herself is using it to find new hosts. Tech forums warned people not to watch it after 3 a.m., but curiosity always wins, and those who break the rule always report the same thing before going missing. I heard her laugh through my headphones. I saw her reflection in my black screen. She said my name. Now, people whisper about a new urban legend. Every device connected to the internet becomes her bridge, and every viewer becomes her way home. If you ever hear faint laughter or smell jasmine while scrolling at night, don't look at your screen, because she might already be there, watching you. The government tried to ban the video. Servers were wiped, channels deleted, but every time the clip vanished, it re-uploaded itself from an unknown account. @SARI_303. That's when Dr. Maya Edisaputra, a paranormal researcher, decided to stop hiding. She believed the curse had a center, the place where Sari first died, Ancol Bridge. At 3 a.m., Maya arrived with a recorder, an old camera, and a jasmine necklace for protection. The air was thick, metallic. The waves below were unnaturally still. She placed the camera down and whispered, "Sorry, I'm not here to film you. I'm here to free you." The recorder hissed with static. Then a woman's voice answered, gentle, trembling, "Free me after all they watched?" The bridge lights dimmed. Water dripped upward instead of down. Maya turned and saw her. The lady in red, eyes glowing through the mist. "They turned my pain into stories," Sari said. "They watched me die, again and again." Her voice cracked, shifting from sorrow to fury. "You can't end it. The bridge lives in their screens now." Maya held up the necklace, chanting an old Javanese prayer. The scent of jasmine burst into fire. The chain snapped. The flames shaped into faces. The countless people who'd watched the cursed video. They opened the gate, Sari whispered. "Now none of us can cross back." At 3:03 a.m., the camera cut out. When dawn came, all that remained was Maya's recorder, still running. It captured her final words. "If anyone finds this, don't come to the bridge." The last sound on the tape was the click of a phone camera and a woman's faint laugh. 3 nights after Dr. Maya's disappearance, authorities sealed off Ancol Bridge. They called it an unstable structure, but locals knew the truth. They said the bridge wasn't breaking apart. It was changing. Metal rusted overnight. The concrete bled red when it rained, and people swore the water beneath whispered their own names. A young officer, Rafi, was assigned to patrol the area. He didn't believe in ghosts, not until his radio began to crackle with a woman's voice. "Help me, I'm still here." Static followed, then a laugh, soft, familiar, almost kind. Rafi froze. The voice wasn't coming from his radio anymore. It came from behind him. He turned and saw a woman in red standing at the center of the bridge. Her face was half burned, her smile heartbreakingly gentle. "Tell them to stop watching," she whispered. "Every time they look, I wake again." Rafi stepped back, gripping his flashlight. The beam flickered, revealing countless faces behind her, pale and distorted, like reflections trapped inside invisible glass. "Who are they?" he asked. "The Watchers," she said. "The ones who couldn't look away." Suddenly, the air shattered like a mirror. Rafi saw flashes, phones, screens, cameras, all showing her face. One by one, the reflections blinked alive, and Sari's voice echoed through every device in the city. "You gave me eyes. Now I can see all of you." Then everything went black. At dawn, the bridge was empty, but across the world, thousands of phone screens lit up at the same moment, each showing the same image. Ancol Bridge at night, and a woman in red walking toward the camera. The caption read, "The end is the beginning." No one knows who posted it. Some say it appeared on its own, but those who watched till the end never logged in again. And now, every 3:03 a.m., if you stare long enough at a black screen, you might see her smile. The last reflection of the lady in red